Hey, it's me, Art of Singularity, and welcome to my video. In this video, I'll be drawing 3 characters without any guidelines because I wanted to focus on the face, so I just got rid of basically everything else so I can focus purely on how I make the features look. I've been trying to get better at drawing lately, putting more effort into practicing and studying other artists. I think it's worked out pretty well. I think these drawings that I've done here look way better than the ones I've done in the past. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I think any progress is good progress. Sometimes making progress is slow, but I guess that all depends on how I go about things, the process I use, if I'm taking it seriously or not. But for the most part, there hasn't been a time where I wasn't serious about drawing. Of course, being serious about drawing and being serious about improving your drawings, those are two different things. So, the rate of improvement, the rate of my learning, that wasn't consistent. It's been better now because, well, I've actually been trying. Or rather, should I say, for the past couple years, it's been improving at a pretty good pace. Because I actually tried to learn. I looked at artists who I actually liked. I tried to see how they made it, the way they came about their ideas, the way they improved, how they studied. I think all of that made it easier. Made it easier. Now the practice sketch is done, so the video is slowed down slightly. I'm kind of a pro at editing, so I know how to do things like that now. Way better at hands now, I think, since I've actually tried to, learn. That one video that I did on studying from hands and referencing and stuff, that really helped. And even though I've done things like that before, I think that the one that I just did, it helped solidify a lot of the other information that I had, and it helped put it into practice, I think. How to use like general shapes to get the hand shape that you want. It's become a lot easier to draw hands, though sometimes it's not as simple. I think making everything proportional, like the fingers being the correct length and all of that, I think sometimes that's difficult. And of course the positioning and perspective of the fingers, that's a whole problem, but I think I've been doing pretty well. Shoulders. And in this drawing, I'm sketching purely with pen in this video, so I don't know. I think the pen makes everything look more alive, more dynamic. There's no erasing it, so it's kind of like you have to make every line count. Now, it's still kind of messy, but I think the messiness also adds to the liveliness. It's just kind of makes everything come together. It makes every mistake kind of feel like it was supposed to be there. Still don't have a script. Still don't have anything to say. Just ad-libbing, I guess. Is that what this is? Maybe I'm not using that right. Maybe I am. But just trying to come up with something to say is sometimes kind of difficult. Maybe I should get a script. But I don't think having anything in order is my style at all. Order. Order's so stifling, isn't it? At least in things that are more fluid, more dynamic. When you try to put order to something that's dynamic, it sometimes kills it. At least for me. Speaking for other people, well, I don't think that's right. But a script would definitely make it more stifling. Static. So, guess I'll just have to deal with the blank space in the audio where I'm not saying anything. I guess the music will fill that in. I like the music that I've done recently. Or, I don't think there's any new music in this video, so I like the music that I've done for these videos. I think it blends a nice mix of calm. I think there's some jazz in there. And also, I think it's a little bit unnerving. I mean, I guess that was the purpose, right? Some of it has like these violins or string instruments, and they just kind of drone in the background, so I think that adds some nice ambience. Ambience? How do you say that? I don't know. Maybe I need English school or English practice. You just need practice in general for basically everything. I do like shading with a pen though, as you can see. I like the shapes that it makes between the lines, the light and the dark. I don't know. For some reason, it's kind of satisfying. Although it is way harder to do smooth shading with pen. It's all hard. It's 100% opacity or like 0. I think you can get slightly less dark lines if you press slightly, or you press more lightly, but it's not as well defined as, or it's not as well varied as with pencil. So, but I think sharpness adds something. It makes it feel more easy to read, I guess. There's more clarity in the sharpness. Finishing up the hands. I really never know what to do with the knuckles for the hands. It's kind of always just a guess. Always guessing. But I guess that's what most of life is, guessing. Just guessing and having it work out, I guess. I suppose. I think the first drawing I did is my least favorite, and maybe that has to do with it being just a practice, so it's not exactly as fluid. Of course, it's only the head and an arm, so like it was bound to be less dynamic. There was bound to be less movement and emotion. You can't see the mouth, so there's that. But I think not being able to see the mouth also adds something. That also is something in and of itself. this is the new one, the last one, the last drawing. I think this last drawing is my favorite. I kind of messed up on the hair, or at least from my perspective, I messed up on the hair. So there's that, but I think overall it is my favorite drawing. It looks the most interesting to me. So if I were to rank them, the first one is the least interesting to me, and the last one is the most interesting. Maybe that has to do with the fact that after every drawing, I kind of learn what I liked from the previous one, and I try and adjust myself to make a better one. So usually, if I just keep drawing over a drawing session, over the course of it, all my drawings will become better, more dynamic, more fluid. Starting with the shading immediately, I guess. I think what I learned is, even when your pen doesn't do what you want it to do, even when you make a mistake, it's not as bad as you think, because you can adjust. You can always make it into something better. If you try and make it perfect, then it will become a worse drawing, because you won't be able to roll with all the mistakes that you make. But if you just keep it open, if you keep your mind open and allow yourself to be slightly messy, I think it'll be better, especially with something like pen, where you can't go back, you cannot undo, it's not digital. I think letting the mistakes become part of the drawing adds something. Or it doesn't take away anything. Instead of being a mistake, it becomes a feature, and then it just improves the drawing. Like the eyes, I don't think the eyes are perfect, but you only figure that out when you're trying to analyze a drawing, when you're trying to critique it. But looking at it without that lens of, is everything perfect? The eye position and the ways that the eyes are, it's less important. Maybe the eyes are different because the expression. Maybe it doesn't need to be equal or have the same amount of openness as the other eye. Maybe it could just be... people themselves are not perfect. And of course, anime is kind of the exception to this, because anime tries to be the most cute, the most glossy thing, right? It tries to have that polished finish, but I think I like a blend of both realism and the way that anime does things. I think that mix makes everything kind of perfect. Because real life is beautiful. And drawings are beautiful. So if you kind of combine both of those, it makes something that's nice to look at. I wonder if I shaded in this drawing. I think I did, but maybe I didn't. I guess I'm doing the shading in real time. So. Also, for this character, I think the design is just more interesting. I think the glasses, that adds something. The expression, kind of frustrated, but actually I don't know what that expression is, but I think the messiness of the hair. Like, I just made a mistake with the hair, but I think if I just go with that and just let it be there, it starts to be less of a mistake. Of course, I think I might have gone back and added to it, or maybe drawn attention away from it by making another line darker, so. Or maybe I just left it there. But even with that mistake, quote unquote, And it was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to be like that, so definitely is a mistake. But I think even with that, the fact that this drawing is still my favorite out of the other two, which has, I think, less mistakes than this one, I think that says something. Wonder what I'll do next. I wonder what is next. When I just did that arm, when I did another second line to make it more of the shape that I want it to be, it didn't get rid of the line from before, but I think I think even the double lines that I've done, I think those look kind of interesting by themselves. I think leaving it as one line. Oh, there goes the lights. this is a long outage. Well, it wasn't an outage. I accidentally pressed a button to turn off the lights, but hey, I guess I'm still an amateur. But I don't think it's bad to be an amateur. If you're an amateur, that means you still have a lot to learn. There's still so much to do. Well, yeah, I'm finished. I'm basically done now. I guess I'm just going over the drawing, adding some tiny adjustments. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking. Thank you for commenting. For everything that you do. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.